Hello everyone, and good afternoon. As we've crossed that line, it's midday and we are on a Friday, so it's time for our live assembly from St Joan of Arc Catholic School, Rickmansworth. There's no other member of SLT to welcome you today because I have watched, it should have been Mrs Wilmot, but she has been crunching so hard over getting a timetable sorted for next year, because when we come back we can't just go into things as they used to be, and out of sure mercy and admiration for all she's doing, I didn't dare even ask her to fit another thing into her week. So I'm sure she would have done it had I asked, but I just wanted to give her the space and time to do that. So welcome everyone to this live assembly, our last live assembly of the year. However, this won't be our last live event, because we're going to have an end of year liturgy to come together one last time on Wednesday at midday, just to round off the year in a prayerful way as a community. And we're going to celebrate those who have left our community this year as well, including the year 11s and year 13s who had to leave in the most surprising of ways. I'm not sure anyone was quite expecting it to be that sudden and that abrupt. So we can't gather everyone together, and those guys have missed out on their Leavers Day, their Leavers Mass, their Leavers Prom. So we're trying to do what we can do whilst we're in lockdown. So look out for that on Wednesday. Like always, you won't miss out if you like and subscribe to the channel. Doing so will not make me be a millionaire, but it will make sure that you get all of these into your YouTube feed, but also into your email inbox. And the good thing is YouTube will use its algorithms to give you similar high quality content like this. Now, because a lot of the stuff that we put up here is Catholic and prayerful and reflective, you might get some other stuff that's prayerful and reflective and helps nurture your spiritual life, amidst all the other stuff that we end up watching on YouTube as well. So get some of that in your feed by liking and subscribing and ring that notification bell and all that other stuff. So before we get cracking into it, I'm going to head over to the chat, which is hilarious today. Welcome to Yoab and Nadine for being the first in the room today, and Armani getting in there early as well. And the most hilarious thing is that there seems to be this rally cry for merchandise. I'm not quite sure what the chaplaincy merchandise would be. Some suggestions of hoodies that you can wear in school. I'm not too sure about that. If I made stickers, they'd probably end up just being stuck around the school, and we don't want that. So I'll look into that, but maybe it is a great way of fundraising, particularly for those people that we've been supporting. We're going to talk a little bit about grace in a moment, but also I know that Udayan, who we often support, they've had a tough year as well, not only because of coronavirus, but Hurricane Ampam, I think that's the name of it, really did some destruction on their site, and we were planning to rebuild the wall anyway, and so we need to get back onto that. So maybe chaplaincy merch might be the way to get Udayan what they need. We'll see. And I want to give a special shout out to the PFA this morning, because using a new camera that they've got, which is a live stream specific camera, as well as a new little microphone that clips on there. I hope it's all working. I've got my head around the technicalities of it all. I think it's a beautiful camera. I think it's really easy to use, and it's going to reduce some of my time in organising this and be really useful in live streaming when we get back together, because we won't necessarily all be able to get back together for assemblies in the hall at the same time, but we should be able to meet you where you are in your form classes with some things that bring us together in a moment. It's all good producing a video that can be watched at any time, but live streaming at least helps us to live in that same moment together, even with a little bit of latency. Also shout out, as always, to the key workers, critical workers, and those pupils who are in school today and the staff that are with them. Thank you for what your parents have been doing all throughout lockdown in keeping the country going. And those of you that are in school to do your work without the home comforts of a fridge that you can access at any time. Hello to all those who are watching at home with their families. I know that families get together to watch this. And particularly welcome to any people who are not members of St Joan of Arc community yet, those that are looking to come to us next year or in future years, and those people who have been to St Joan of Arc and are tuning in just for old time's sake. I know there's been a few reviews that have picked up and watched the video and sent me messages as well. It's good to have anyone join us for these assemblies. But an essential part of any assembly that we come together as a Catholic school is our faith. And so we're going to reflect a little bit about on these Sundays' gospel readings and first reading that we have. So let's take a moment just to pause, just to slow down, and begin as we always do with the sign of the cross. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. There's this great quote that I've come across before by a guy called Bill W, or proper name is William D. Wilson. It says this: in God's economy, nothing is wasted. Now that can take a little bit of unpacking. In God's economy, nothing is wasted. And what this quote tries to get to the essence of is that whatever we experience in life, whether it's good stuff, whether it's the high times, whether things are all going well, or whether we have a really difficult period, whether we're really struggling and we're barely making it by, William Wilson reminds us that nothing is wasted. Absolutely every single human experience God can use for our growth, for our development. There was an old Daft Punk song that Kanye West remixed that said, that don't kill me makes me stronger. And I'm sure it was a quote before. It got remixed by Daft Punk as well. And sometimes we forget the truth in that. We can become so consumed by our difficulties that perhaps we don't recognise the growth that is taking place in that moment. And we can get so down on ourselves, we've become so blinkered, and rightly so, and naturally so, that we don't recognise the personal and the spiritual growth that is taking place in those desert experiences, in those tough times. And I'm sure, if you're like me, we don't necessarily appreciate the good times as much as we should as well. We don't celebrate the good things. And sometimes we miss out on the good things because we're so consumed by the things that aren't going well. And so perhaps we need to remember that in God's economy, nothing is wasted. And the reason that I show you that quote this morning is because I think it relates into the readings that we'll hear at Mass if we're able to go this Sunday or if we watch a live stream. And the first reading comes from the prophet Isaiah, and it says this: "Thus says the Lord, as the rain and the snow come down from the heavens and do not return without watering the earth, making it yield and giving growth to provide seed for the sower and bread for the eating, so the word that goes forth from my mouth does not return to me empty, without carrying out my will and succeeding in what it was sent to do." Now, if we believe in an all-powerful God, which can be hard sometimes when we see so much suffering in the world, but if we believe that beyond our own wisdom and trust that God is in control, God lets none of our experiences go to waste. He will always use it for our growth and for our blessing. You see, in our language, we quite often associate blessings as good things. We say, well, I'm blessed and I have this blessing and this blessing in my life when things are good. But can we recognise those difficult times as a blessing as well? And Jesus builds on this analogy of the sower and of seed growing in the gospel reading. And he builds on it with a parable. Jesus says, imagine a sower going out to sow, so someone that's going out to scatter seeds. As he sowed, some seeds fell on the edge of the path, and the birds came and ate them up. Other seeds fell on patches of rock where they found little soil, and so sprang up straight away because there was no depth of earth. As soon as the sun came up, they were scorched, and not having any roots, they withered away. Other seeds fell among the thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked them. Others fell on rich soil and produced their crop, some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. What we can take about from this reading for me is that God is the scatterer, and he's sowing these seeds of the kingdom. And he doesn't wait for perfect circumstances to throw his seed. He gives us grace and he gives us the goodness of his own life, the power of his Spirit, whatever's going on. He gives himself to us. Now, your lockdown experience could have been less than perfect. Your home might have not been a great place to spend every single day. Your family might have suffered during this time, a loss or a bereavement. But God has still been giving his grace. And that can be so hard to see sometimes. It might feel that our lockdown experience has been rocky. It's been like the path where the birds have come and taken anything that's good. It can seem like it's been a thorny experience and all the goodness and goodwill has just been choked out of our lives by those thorns and those brambles. But we've still received the grace of God's goodness. And so God encourages us to work with what he's given us, because nothing is wasted. God's seed can grow wherever we are. But we can also reflect on how can we make our hearts and our lives fertile soil so that seed can grow and grow into a rich harvest and a mighty abundance. So let's pray that we would make the best of what we've got. That we would use God's grace in whatever situation we're in. That we would accept it, welcome it, and open ourselves to it. Let us pray. So Father God, help us to see beyond our difficulties. Even though these difficulties and tough times can be so real. It can be like a cloud or a fog that we can't see beyond them. We just ask that you would give us the gift of faith to see that you will not let this experience be wasted. We also pray for the good times and the good experiences that we might have had, that we would not take them for granted, that we would cherish them, that we would learn from them as much as we learn from the difficult periods. We pray that you would help us to recognise that you're sowing your seeds of grace wherever we are. You don't wait for us to be perfect soil. We might be rock hard like the path, or like shallow soil, or we might be the thorns, and we might be the weeds. You still sow your seeds of grace towards us. You still sow the seeds of the kingdom. Help us to receive them just as we are. But also give us the wisdom and the courage and the strength to try and become better soil. To try and become a place where your kingdom is welcomed, where you can grow in, become all that you need. We thank God for the many blessings that has happened this year. The good blessings and the difficult blessings, the easy blessings and the blessings of trial. We ask that you would help us to learn from you, that you would give us rest and peace in this suffering. Help us to come back and look forward to coming back in September as a community ready to let your kingdom grow in you. Make this prayer and all our prayers in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Hope that's worked. It's still so nervous doing these live streams, trying to trigger things here, and there's a bit of a delay and you hit the button again and then two things happen. But hopefully you're still with me. I'm going to come over here and just see. Yep, no one's talking about muting or anything going wrong. And it's great to see so many people here, especially the staff. Thank you for making the time to be here. You're so busy. Many of you are setting lessons, marking work, and you're also trying to homeschool your own kids as well. So thank you for being here with us today doing this. So, whilst we're on the theme of recognising God's blessing and celebrating the good times, it's great to be able to share with you two bits of really good news. And the first one really took me by surprise this week. I was just watching BBC News in my kitchen while just getting the breakfast ready and doing the washing up. And I saw this really amazing news story about an A&E nurse that had just come out of a long time of being ill and in an induced coma because of COVID-19, and he was being treated in the hospital where he works in A&E. And the penny didn't drop. But what I was actually watching is the story of one of our families at our school. And so just in case you missed that, I'd love to show you this good news story that's happened this week.
Thank you very much. Thank you for looking after me, everybody.
Excited to go home now, and it's time to see my family, get my life back again. And I thank God for and all the people that have prayed for me and supported me in my family, of course, all along the way.
This is it. Today is the day. Home sweet home. And thank you everyone for all the prayers and support. And if not for all these people praying, I think it's going to be a different situation. But thank God everything's been okay. And all the sacrifices is all worth it. And it's not just me, everyone in the hospital. Because he's got this kind of character that everybody just loves.
Absolutely amazing and wonderful news there. Sorry, some people are mentioning about an awful noise. I can't work out what that is. I guess it might be a bit of hiss or something like that, because my laptop is absolutely going crazy. It's actually working so hard to juggle all this footage and stuff and bits and pieces like that. So if the noise is only there when I'm talking, I'll keep my talking to a minimum. And the other good news that I want to share with you is we know that we've been doing lots to promote Grace in Year 9, her story and her trying to get the treatment that she needs, some non-NHS drug therapy. And we're so delighted to be able to help raise some of that money to get her treatment started. So that's absolutely fantastic that that's been able to take place. I know there's a Facebook page and just sharing the ongoing story of Grace getting her treatment. And Grace and her mum did a really beautiful thing of singing together a song that's very special to them, 1,000 Years by Christina Perry. And they say in this video, sing along if you know the words. So I spoke to Miss Marshall about whether we as a school community could sing that song with them. So we took some of the footage from that Facebook group, and I'm delighted to share with you now and thank everyone that took part. this version of not just running for grace or the race for grace, but we get to sing with grace as well.
You probably wonder what we're going to do. So we're going to do something that's quite brave, and it's probably going to sound awful, but it's going to make sense. So Grace has just been to Stoke Mandeville Hospital to get her a cannula put in for a blood transfusion tomorrow, and then tomorrow we start on her new drug. So we're one step closer. So we've got something we want to do. We apologise in advance because neither of us can sing particularly well, but we have a very special song called 1,000 Years, I'm crying already, that we want to sing to each other, and we want to do it in front of you guys, because each and every one of you has helped Grace get one step closer. I love it. If you know it, you can sing along with us at home. Come on then.
How can I love when I'm afraid?
Thank you, absolutely everyone that took part in that. I'm just trying to work out if the noise has gone in the background. I think I worked out what that was, but don't let that take from what we just watched. Thank you so much, absolutely everybody that played a part in that. I just shared the idea with Miss Marshall if a few people could sing, and I'd cut it together. And she really raised the bar. I thought we'd just do it along to a karaoke track, but she made sure that we got all the live musicians in there. So special thanks to our peripatetic music teachers at the school, as well as Grace's own singing teacher. And I missed her this week, but apparently Grace was in for a singing lesson in school, just a chance to get out of the house, and it's so fantastic. Such a positive person. I remember chatting to her when she was in before lockdown, sometimes in matron's room, about what was going on and how she's feeling. She's just like, yeah, just whatever. Yeah, so positively minded, and if anyone can do this, I know that she can. And thank you so much for all the support and encouragement, all the stuff that's going on in the chat now. We just wish you all the very best, and just a reminder that prayer is powerful. Seeing Mr. Paolo there and his wife talking about thanking everyone for their prayers and feeling prayed for and supported in prayer. And so please pray for Grace as well, and anyone that you know that is suffering or is struggling or is ill, because prayer is powerful. The more we do it, the better we get at it. It's not like the more we do it, the better God looks at us and think, oh, I'm going to answer your prayers because you've prayed lots. But we get to really learn what it means to pray, how to pray, and how to see how God is working when we pray. So I really recommend for everyone to pray more, particularly for those that you know are struggling. So can pray for the people that you know are sick. So there are a couple of good news stories. Grace's treatment is going well, it's begun, and Mr. Paolo is out of hospital, and it's so glad to see him reunited with his family, and we send our love and our prayers to you for his continued recovery. As I've seen in the chat as well, it's been busy doing sports day, virtual sports day stuff. Miss Bowden's encouraging you that you've got 5 hours left to submit your scores. It's been amazing. So many people have participated, but there are so many more people who could participate. It would be great to see if we could really smash this virtual sports day, seeing how many people could get involved in doing these. Score some points for your form class, but just do the best that you can do with those burpees, with the speed bounce, with the target throw and the plank and the other thing that I've forgotten. Is that it? No, that's it. Just do your best. You don't have to film yourself. Just submit a result for what you do, whatever your best is. But if you do film yourself, thanks for doing that. Thanks for supporting it, and thanks for tagging in the PE department. And the PE department want to say thank you to you as well. So Miss Bowden, as you would have seen on the Instagram feed for PE, has been busy in making movies this week and has made this for us to say thank you and to dedicate all your sports efforts to two very special people. Thank you everyone for getting involved, and thank you PE. Like I said, you can see all of Miss Bowden's incredible videos, including the incredible Dr. K, all on the St Joan of Arc PE department Instagram feed. All those little videos are out there. It's really encouraging to watch and a lot of fun. Thank you for doing them. And with the Singing with Grace video, I noticed again there's still a few more out of sync bits, so the perfectionist in me is going to tweak those up, and hopefully by Monday there should be its own bespoke upload onto the chaplaincy YouTube channel, so you can see that and you can share that with your friends rather than having to root through this assembly to watch it again. There's nothing left for me to say except to thank you all for being here today and to invite you to our closing end of year service on Wednesday at midday. Please be there. You'll be notified about it if you like and subscribe. I'm going to go away now to plan what chaplaincy merchandise I can create, and for whatever reason, maybe to fundraise a bit of money. But thank you for being here. Thank you for being in the chat. Thank you for being so positive, letting me know about the noise. I think I worked that out. Did I? Maybe I'll have to look through the chat to see if I did and listen back to it. But thank you everyone for being here, supporting these live assemblies. It wouldn't be worth doing if nobody showed up. So thank you for being here live, and for those that are watching this later when it's uploaded fully. Nothing left for me to say. Have a great week, and to leave you with this, another round of Guess the Babies. Who are these babies and what department are they? So guess these teachers. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.